Welcome back subscribers and hello YouTube viewers. On this occasion we're off to a town called Carlsruhe. Now Carlsruhe is a town in the Shire of Macedon Ranges between Woodend and Kyneton in Victoria, Australia, alongside the old Calder Highway, although now bypassed by the new Calder Freeway. It is approximately 50 minutes from both Melbourne and Bendigo. Carlsruhe is 87 kilometres or 54 miles northwest of Melbourne, the state capital of Victoria, Australia. Carlsruhe was settled for European use on the 26th of May 1837 by a Charles Ebdeen. Carlsruhe was the second inland settlement in the Port Phillip district, Ebdeen having set up the first inland settlement on or about the 14th of March in 1837 at Sugarloaf Creek in Victoria. It was named after Carlsruhe in Germany, where Ebdeen received part of his education. Until the formation of Kyneton, 6 kilometres northwest, in 1849, Carlsruhe was the district's centre of settlement. It had an armed regiment between 1838 to 39, a hotel that was built in 1846, and a police station with over 30 officers until the mid-1850s. A township was established in the 1850s with a post office that opened on the 1st of September 1854, closed after a few months and then reopened in 1858. After the railway arrived in 1862, Carlsruhe Railway Station Post Office opened some distance away in October 1865. The original Carlsruhe Post Office closed in 1957, and in July 1958 the name of the railway station post office was changed to Carlsruhe. This office closed in March 1965. And if you do look at the maps, you'll find that the railway station is quite some distance from the actual township itself. Now, as mentioned, the Carlsruhe railway station was opened around 1862 and became a junction in 1880 when the first section of the line to Daylesford was opened. Carlsruhe was interlocked in 1884 and block working was introduced by 1892. The Daylesford line was closed in 1978 and, as revenue traffic was almost non-existent at the station, the staff were withdrawn. The Daylesford line was closed in 1978 and staff also withdrawn. The Carlsruhe station was one of 35 closed to passenger traffic on the 4th of October 1981 as part of the New Deal timetable for country passengers. The signal box was abolished in 1980 and the station closed in 1982 altogether. The surviving station building is now used as a private residence, and I can tell you a lovely lady lives there because I asked for her permission to do some filming around her property, but not in her property. So here we are at the former Carlsruhe State School. It's now part of the Woodend Primary School, and this is used as a bit of an annex. So they bring students out to this school, I guess is what you'd call it. And I did meet two lovely staff members. I believe they were teachers, and they allowed me to wander around and take some of the footage. They've got a great vegetable garden here. They've got a number of pets that the kids look after. And I can assure the kids that the pets are well looked after by these two staff members or teachers. Now, I do have to admit, some of these country schools are just fantastic. Their outdoor activities for the kids are probably second to none. They have a lot of open space, a lot of fresh air. They've got a lot of equipment that some schools might think were a bit dangerous for kids, but I'm a strong believer that this is how they learn. And good on them for allowing them to have all those trees and logs to goof around with. I'm sure there's teachers there that supervise their playtimes out there or their lunchtimes out there, and it's really good to see that it's all hands-on and kids are kept quite busy being creative. Now, these sheep belong to the school. One's called Peanut, one's called Uggy, and the sign suggests that no one should be feeding them any bread because they're on a diet. Hey, buddy. There we go. Look at this. Hey, he's a good guy. Very friendly, definitely friendly. Obviously, the kids are looking after him very well. Now, I don't know this. Yeah. So once the Carlsruhe railway station closed, this is what the state government offered these people in this community: a bus stop. And here we have the brand new, or relatively new, Country Fire Authority. And looking on their Facebook page, it looks like they have a good group that volunteer here and provide service to the community and to the district. Now, what I have done at this cemetery, I've gone for a bit of a walk, and I did want to have a look and see how many people had served our nation in times of war or just in times of peace. So I did find a few, and I also found a very moving tombstone to a lovely lady, or it appears that she was an absolutely lovely lady, that will appear at the very end of this part of the video. So here we have the Cobb & Co change station, and it's basically like a roadhouse for back in the day when they'd bring their horses here, they'd change them over. So then they'd have a fresh set of horses, people would have a drink and an eat, and they'd continue on their way, I guess, to these goldfields that's been mentioned. I'm not 100% sure though if Carlsruhe had its own sort of gold rush or fossicking, but there is a large river nearby, and it might be worthwhile coming down with a metal detector and having a bit of a sticky beak where that river is. Now, just as a heads up, I've put the drone up again because the amount of kangaroos that I saw, not just on the road, but pretty much everywhere. So I came across this mob of kangaroos and I got the drone up and I followed them around a little bit for you to enjoy. So as you can see, they do travel around in groups. It looks like this is a fairly big mob of kangaroos, and you've got some that I believe to be well over 4 or 5 feet in height, and they're not just wallabies, they're actually rather big. So I couldn't really gauge the actual size because I was some distance away. Don't assume that I'm this close to the kangaroos. I've got a 4x zoom, so I'm actually well away from them. As you can see, I'm pretty close. They can sort of probably hear it more than they can see it, but I don't know what their eyesight's like. So there you go. There's a big mob of kangaroos. So here we are nearing the end of this video or presentation, and I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun making it. And if you did like it, by all means, click on that like button or that thumbs up icon, and please subscribe. Subscribing really doesn't cost you 1 cent, and it helps out the channel immensely. But most importantly, stay safe, commute safe, and watch out for those kangaroos.